Jordan, this start is going to be crucial. We've seen a lot of races here today, won and lost, diving into that first corner.
You know, definitely you got to be careful because these drivers just really want to fight for that lead. So depending where you are on the track, you may get sandwiched between two cars. And so you got to make sure you're in the perfect spot, because the last thing you want is not making out of the corner of the first corner, and you just want to be able to run off with that lead, or at least in that top three, so you can have a good spot when you go into this race.
Here we go. Lights are up. Time to go racing in the feature from Daytona for RX1. Look at the start on the inside from Garrett Maines. Josh Fox with a similar start on the outside. They'll go side by side into the first corner, the International Horseshoe. Getting the lead is Garrett Maines, albeit by inches. They'll race into the first time dirt section. Contact made between Fox and Silva. They still make contact over the jump. Hard contact coming into the first corner. Alderton, Batiste get contact. Silva with contact. He goes way into the middle of the pack now. But racing through into turn 7, it's Maines with the lead. Parisi gonna have to tow it all the way back to the pit lane. Fox now fighting with Bergeron, fighting with Rafus. They all fight further back, but Jordan Garrett Maines gets away with the lead, and a considerable one at that, about 1.5 seconds.
And we saw he was our fastest qualifier, I believe, for this race, and so he's definitely putting on a show for these drivers to even watch behind him. And you can see the 13 of Rafus he went into the Joker right now, puts him up into P number 2, but that 14 machine is so fast right now, you got to really be on your A game if you want to catch him and take over that lead.
Garrett Maines this season here in Racecraft TV Rallycross has started every feature race, has yet to win one. He is looking to win his first here tonight and is going to get close, as he already has a considerable lead. Needs to keep the consistency up. Diving into the Joker, Alex Bergeron. Fans will recognize that name. He is into this season's iRacing Rallycross World Championship, which will be starting this week. But he is also a multi-time champion when it comes to World of Outlaws World Championships on iRacing. If anybody knows his way around dirt, it's Alex Bergeron. But take a look at Jacob Rafus trying to get that spot away. He's going to have a nose in going into the corner. Look at Josh Fox in the 12 trying to work his way up into that spot as well. But taking it over is Jacob Rafus. Now side by side, it's Josh Fox and Alex Bergeron. A little bit of door banging, but Bergeron's going to hold on to the spot. Maine still out in front by a good margin. Battle a little bit further back as Josh Fox dives into the Joker. Rafus and Bergeron now are left to battle on the racetrack, but now Maines is left out in front. Joker lap still available, so Jordan, Fox, Rafus, and Bergeron, if they want a shot at this win, will need to catch Garrett Maines on the racetrack and get by him, or hope for a huge mistake from Maines, put him out of contention even with the Joker lap.
You know, definitely, but with that Joker, that's going to help the 14 so much coming to at least those final few laps, because we usually see these drivers, at least from tonight, they dive down into the Joker with maybe a lap or two remaining, and so that's what I'm thinking the 14 is going to do here tonight. But you never know, Josh, like you said, a huge wreck could happen and it completely mess up the 14 of Garrett Maines, but we hope that commentator curse, like I've done a few times before, doesn't really happen, and he just hopefully runs a good race and walks out victorious here tonight.
Issues for Jacob Rafus coming over the jump. We'll grab a real quick Racecraft TV replay because I found it interesting. He fell from about 2nd all the way down to 7th. Oh, hard contact with Sindra Silva. Same contact with Alex Bergeron going into the dirt section. We'll grab one more look, and there it is. A hard door slam with Silva. Slams off of the tire barrier not once but twice. Also slams off the front end of Alex Bergeron, and it looks like we might have a little bit more issues. No, he just goes side by side with looks to be Josh Edmondson. Alex Bergeron off the racetrack. What has happened to the number 2 machine? Let's grab a Racecraft TV replay of this one. What happened here to Alex Bergeron? He got turned around going into turn 7. Contact with Busa. Yes, there it is. And just a little bit too much. Not once, but twice. That sent Bergeron around. He tows it into the pit lane. It will not be a back-to-back winner, and we are getting ever so close, Jordan, to really ruling out a multi-time winner here as Garrett Maines continues to pull away. The closest multi-time winner, or the closest winner so far this season that could go multi-time, is Sindra Silva sitting there in third. So Jordan, right now Garrett Maines at the front, and even if Josh Fox is able to catch him and pass him, even with Garrett Maines' Joker lap still being available to him, we're looking at that streak of unique feature race winners staying alive.
You know, definitely he's got a lot of competitors behind him, so he's got a little bit of pressure. And so, like you mentioned, he's got that Joker still, so I'm curious to know when he's going to actually use it, because it may actually help him get away from the 12 of Josh Fox. And so, unless the 12 is right on his bumper, maybe the 12 will be able to walk away with the lead, but you never know, because that Joker lane is so quick, and especially the 14 running the laps he's running right now, he's running them so well to a point where he's running away from P number 2. So I'm just really curious to know when he's going to take it and if it's going to help him.
Now, realistically, when we talk about the Joker lap here, Maines still has it available to him, which we'd call it available if it's a shortcut, which it is here at Daytona. So Maines is going to gain about 1 to 1.5 seconds on Josh Fox, maybe even a little bit more than that. We'll say conservatively 2 seconds that Garrett Maines will gain on Josh Fox. So Fox will have to pass Maines, not only that, pass him, but pull away by 2 seconds. Then that makes it harder for Garrett Maines, even with the Joker, to get by him. But now as Maines pulls right back away from Josh Fox, looked like Fox had a little bit of a slowdown there. Garrett Maines is looking like he is in the catbird seat when it comes to this win of the feature race here at Daytona. Has started every round this season, has talked openly about his struggles coming through this season. But as he takes the white flag, it is one more lap to go here in the feature race. And Garrett Maines is looking to walk away with his first feature race win of the season. He's also bounced back and forth between the Subaru and the Volkswagen Beetle. Chose the Subaru here for Daytona, and as he comes through the dirt section for the final time, close battle a little bit further back. Jacob Raffus and Matt Busa will keep you updated on this battle after Garrett Maines comes across the line. But through the Joker lap, your feature race winner from Daytona is Garrett Maines for Elliott Sadler Esports in the 2. Coming to the line, does Jacob Raffus or Matt Busa have their Joker? No, they don't. Final effort from Raffus, not going to be enough. Busa in his opening round for Racecraft TV Rallycross comes home with a top 5 in 4th. Raffus comes home 5th. Edmondson comes home 6th. And also in his first race here, Racecraft TV Rallycross, Dorian Baptiste is going to walk away with an 8th place finish. Live from iRacing's virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway in Hampton, Georgia, welcome sim racing fans to round number 5 of the Racecraft TV Rallycross season from virtual Atlanta, live on Racecraft TV. Happy that all of you could join us here on this beautiful Sunday evening. My name is Joshua Lee. I'm joined in the commentary booth tonight by Jordan Hicks, and all track and car cameras tonight were created by Istvan Ballo at TrackCams22.com. Jordan, the schedule continues. We go from Daytona just a little bit north up to the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and we are expecting some intense racing because this track, one of the trickiest and one of the favorites when it comes to Rallycross on the iRacing service.
And, you know, definitely we had a lot of action last week at Daytona, and so I'm really looking forward to all the action that comes our way this week at Atlanta. And like you said, this track is very difficult, and I'm curious to know how these drivers are going to navigate the track and who's going to walk away victorious.
And of course, continuing to really just go over the points of this season. We're starting, of course, with RX2, and 2 drop weeks are continuing to be counted. But as you take a look, that is not discounting from how close the points are right now, with Michael Lawrence being in P1, Torandre Borison, Zach Knowles, Christopher Plumley, and James Watson tied for 4th place right now. Drapkin, Winkler, Langton, and Teal are tied for 8th, with Crystal King down there in P10 with 28 points. Same race analysis for RX2, same format. Top 4 advance after 5 lap heats, top 2 advance after 1 5-lap LCQ, then a 10-lap main event after that. 8x incident limit tonight for RX2, as well as a fixed setup. We'll see a 6x incident limit and an open setup for RX1. That'll be coming up a little bit later on tonight. But RX2, all about some of the drivers who are new to Rallycross are still getting used to how these cars drive, so we start them in a bit of a lower division, and so they aren't going up against some of the pros of iRacing Rallycross right off the bat. Let's take a look at where we are in the world, and we're at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, one of the most historic venues in all of NASCAR. Opened in 1960, located in Hampton, Georgia, and this Rallycross course located spans a little bit less than a mile through the infield road course section of the Atlanta Motor Speedway. So Jordan, with this being a little bit under a mile, makes it one of the longer courses as well when it comes to iRacing Rallycross. More of the challenges that this course is going to provide. Yeah,
and like you said, it's when the tracks are longer, you usually got to really focus a lot more because we're used to those sort of short Rallycross tracks to where a point these drivers can just fly on by and go on with the race and really try and focus to get that win. But now they got to keep their minds straight on how long they can go. They got to keep up the momentum wherever they are on the track and make sure they run the perfect line they can because they don't want to mess up because they have a long race ahead of them.
Qualifying currently underway as we will work our way to the track, and currently at the top of the standings it is Zach Knowles. We'll see if that is going to stay that way as we get a good look at the 72. Trevor Teal working his way through the dirt section here at Atlanta, the long dirt section here that always seems to provide for some exciting passing. The Joker lap as well, close to that point, also leads to some exciting moments on the exit of that Joker, and we'll see how that is going to really run here tonight as everybody takes to the track for qualifying. About 2 minutes left in qualifying as we get started for tonight's round of Racecraft TV Rallycross. And once again, glad all of you could join us on Racecraft TV here tonight. And of course, Racecraft TV Rallycross is presented by Sparco. Happy to have them on board for all the action this season in Racecraft TV Rallycross, and glad all of you could join us here on Racecraft TV for all the exciting action that is expected here this afternoon. And going racing from Atlanta, always fun as well. Never a dull moment when you're racing here in Atlanta. So at the front of the field, it is still Zach Knowles in the 099. About a minute now remaining here in qualifying. And Jordan, these heats are going to see roughly about 6 drivers in each. We take the top 4. Then when they go in the LCQ, we're going to take the top 2. So we're going to eliminate 2 drivers from this race in total. So these drivers need to be on their best game because at the end of the day, bottom 2 will be eliminated here from RX2 before we even get to the feature.
And that's the thing too with our first 2 heats of the night. If you're in 4th place where the the exchange line is where you can either get in and don't make it. You really can't just sit there and be really comfortable and say that you made it, because you still got that driver behind you who's really trying to fight for that way in. And if you just sit there and really relax yourself and don't think like that, you're gonna end up just losing yourself and not really getting into the feature, which is what a lot of these drivers want to do, because not all of them want to come out here and just lose their first heat of the night. So a lot of these drivers are going to be on their A game and really fight for that way into that feature.
They're going to be fighting all night long as we will work our way through those heats, through the LCQ, and right into the feature race for RX2 tonight. Ready to go racing here for heat number 1 of RX2, and we are having a bit of issues with our overlay, and we will try and get those fixed as soon as we possibly can. But ready to go racing for the start of heat number 1 in RX2. It's Zach Knowles on the pole, Zachary Drapkin to his outside with Thomas Grady, Tor-Andre Borison, Matthew Rice, a new name to RX2, alongside Crystal King. As we get ready for the start, they will be starting right past the dirt section on this one asphalt straightaway leading into turn number 1. And we are set and ready to go racing. This is heat number 1 of RX2. The revs will go up. The lights will come up as well. Green flag is out. We are racing in heat number 1 of RX2. A great start for the Canadian Zach Knowles, but contact. One car going to go spinning to the outside. That's going to be Thomas Grady. Matthew Rice also involved, but coming over the jump, Zach Knowles is going to get the early lead, but here comes Zachary Drapkin in that Ford Fiesta. He's right behind as well. Tor-Andre Borison and Crystal King 3rd and 4th, also fighting for those spots right now. Top 4 your transfer spots. All drivers who are running in this lead pack. Is anybody gonna joker early? Nobody takes to the joker yet, Jordan. Everybody's staying out, and the battle for the lead continues between Drapkin and Knowles.
These drivers are so close right now, and right as we saw at the start, that's not the way you want to start. Those two drivers completely are really stuck in the back now, so they got to fight their way back up to that transfer spot, and one of them's going to make it. And so it's going to be a tough competition, but you can see these drivers really going at it right now. The 099 of Zach Knowles really trying his best to hold off the 9 of Zachary Drapkin, but a lot of tough competitors out here tonight, so it's anybody's game.
So Knowles out in front, Drapkin P2, still no takers into the joker lane for what we can see, as issues for Crystal King going all the way to the back of the field. Is anybody going to joker here? Zach Knowles is going to choose the joker. Huge advantage of the joker here at Atlanta, and it looks like Drapkin and Borison followed him in, so everybody at the front going to use their jokers to their advantage here on lap number 2, and they are able to continue on. Battle for P2 between Drapkin and Borison. They have not settled down just yet. We'll see who's going to overall win this battle, as Drapkin leads this group and in front of Tor-Andre Borison, who was the feature race winner for RX2 1 week ago at Daytona. Remember, we're still on a streak of unique feature race winners for both RX1 and RX2. Will that change today? And will we see a different feature race winner as Borison goes very wide? Jordan, something interesting about that trend that we have been on of unique feature race winners. Zach Knowles was fast at Daytona. One mistake took him out of the running for that win. Now that he's back up here at the front in this heat, he's showing amazing speed, but he needs to make sure he minimizes those mistakes, especially in the feature where most of those points will be up for grabs.
And that's what I say when you got to be on your A game, because like you said, it took him one mess up to completely ruin his whole chance. And so he's got about, I believe, 1 to go right now, and as he crosses the line. And so he's really running his own race. But we saw this last time he was in his first heat of the night. He did very well in his first heat, and he made it to the feature, I believe. That's the way it went. And like you said, just one thing can ruin your whole entire race. And so he's looking really solid right now. Yes, there's a lot of guys behind him that are really going to want to look for that lead, but he's going to hopefully, not trying to make a commentator's curse, walk away victorious tonight for heat number 1, as he's on his final lap right about now.
White flag is out, lap number 5, and we do apologize for the overlay issues we are having tonight, trying feverishly to get those fixed as we continue to bring you coverage. Heat number 1 of RX2, and Zach Knowles out in front. A great run for him here in this heat as it continues on. Heat number 1, and working his way across the start-finish line this time, it is going to be Zach Knowles who walks away with the win in heat number 1 of RX2. Zachary Drapkin, Tor Andre Boris in your top 3. Thomas Grady able to get himself back up in a P4. Matthew Rice and Crystal King with issues here in the heat. So rounding out the 4 drivers who will advance their way into the feature race off of heat number 1. But Thomas Grady at the tail end of that list. So heat number 1 over and done here from virtual Atlanta, and getting ready to take a look at the starting grid for heat number 2, and we'll see just how different that is going to be and who's going to end up walking away with the win there. As grabbing the pole, it's Andrew Howell, Christopher Plumley, Sean Winkler, Trevor Teal, the top 4, with James Watson and Mikey Lawrence rounding out the field of cars ready to go racing here in heat 2. They are already ready to go. The lights will come up and the green flag is going to drop. We are underway here in heat number 2. You're on board with Sean Winkler on the inside, trying to get the best of the drivers there. Not going to be able to do so. Getting the best of the rest is Christopher Plumley out in front. One driver going to go a bit off of the jump. That was Andrew Howell, able to save it. But here comes Trevor Teal down the inside looking for the spot for P2. He's going to get it. Watson's going to have to settle into P4. And car around. Christopher Plumley, the race leaders around.
And that just shows you one mistake completely messes him up. So now it's going to throw him all the way back down into P6. So Josh, he's under that cut line to where he can make it in to the feature. And so if it doesn't go his way, I'm not trying to jinx him at all. He's going to go over to that LCQ, have another chance, but only the top 2 make it in that one. So he's going to really have to fight hard. But it's not race over yet for him, as he's just got to make sure he's running really well and hopefully make it across that line so he can really finish in a good spot.
So out in front, it is Trevor Teal, Andrew Howell right behind with Christopher Plumley, James Watson, your top 4. Let's see who is going to joker here, and don't believe Plumley jokered with the gap that he has, but with that wreck that he had, I'm expecting him to joker here. No, he's going to continue to save that joker lap. Watson's going to also pass on the joker who came in behind. That was Mikey Lawrence coming into the joker lap. He'll go up into P3, and it looks like, I believe, one driver joining him. No, Sean Winkler just loses the spot to Christopher Plumley. So Trevor Teal is going to continue to lead the way. Now up into 3rd goes Mikey Lawrence, but a good way to go as you go on board. This is the 85 of Mikey Lawrence, trying to hold on to a 3rd place spot now. And as they work their way through the middle portion of this racetrack, interesting to see here, Jordan, what Mikey Lawrence is going to do, because he needs to hold off the drivers behind. I believe Winkler and Watson still have their joker lanes left, but looks like Lawrence might be out of the woods when it comes to a joker lap advantage, as Winkler doesn't come in, and it looks like James Watson's also going to stay out from the joker, leaving Mikey Lawrence in 3rd. But with that joker being taken already for Lawrence, he's got to be on his toes.
You know, definitely he's just got to keep that car just running at 100%, 110%, and just keep himself on his A game and keep that momentum high, because he doesn't want to let them get too close, because eventually when they take that joker, it's going to really put him really close, or maybe even get him to drop positions. And so he's just got to really try and run away with P number 3 and really try not to lose positions coming into about 2 to go at the line.
So 2 laps to go. It'll be 1 to go this time by, as Trevor Teal continues to lead. Battle for that front spot, however, as Andrew Howell sits behind in P2. What can Howell do to get this lead away? You're on board with the 666 of Andrew Howell right now, trying to catch his way up and over the jump they go. White flag is out this time by 1 lap to go from virtual Atlanta here in heat number 2 for Racecraft TV Rallycross presented by Sparco. Past the Joker lane, neither of them can take it. They've already taken it. Howell gonna dive it in the inside in the banked corner, not gonna be able to get there either. What's gonna happen through the middle portion of this racetrack? Teal gonna hold that lead. Can Howell get it here in the corner? Battle for the transfer. Look at Sean Winkler with the late Joker. He is going to hop up into the transfer spot. Plumlee's into the wall, and that is gonna solidify Sean Winkler into the feature race as Trevor Teal comes across the line. He is gonna make it into the feature with the heat 1, or the heat 2, win. Andrew Howell in second, Mikey Lawrence third, and Sean Winkler gonna be the last of the top 4 to move into the feature race, and a great run for the number 17 machine. He moves his way into the feature race. A fantastic run for the 17 of Sean Winkler to get into that 4th spot. Starting grid for the consolation race, the LCQ, is as follows: Matthew Rice, Christopher Plumlee, Crystal King, and James Watson. Time for the start. 4 drivers here in the consolation. Only 2 will move on into the feature race tonight. Green light is up. We are underway, and it's a good start for Christopher Plumlee. 3 wide behind. Watson's going to get the short end of the stick, but he's going to dive it up the inside in the dirt section. Tried to get around Crystal King. Could not do it. He'll stay in front of Matthew Rice, but running away with the transfer spot now, Jordan, is Crystal King in 2nd place. Let's see if anybody's going to take to the Joker and use that Joker lane strategy early.
A lot of these drivers just got to keep their momentum high, and that's the thing about the LCQ. You really got to stay on your A game because it's only the top 2 that actually make it into the feature. So a lot of these drivers are hungry to make it into that feature and not go home tonight without even making it to the feature. So these drivers are going to have to keep their heads high and really slam on that loud pedal because they just got to run away with the spots they take and really hope they get to that feature.
Matthew Rice into the Joker. He comes out in the lead as he ups up and over the jump. Christopher Plumlee now will assume P2. So he has that transfer spot. Joker still not done for the 36 of Christopher Plumlee. Let's see when he comes across the line this time how that is going to go. Let's find out. Not going to take to the Joker yet. He continues on the normal racetrack up and over the banked dirt curve. James Watson, Crystal King still having a sparring match back here as King falls to P4. Rice still out in front. Joker lane done. And with the current gap, I believe Watson, if he were to Joker on this lap, would have enough to get by Matthew Rice. That is how much time is gained by this Joker lap. Let's find out if Watson is willing to take it this time by. Is Plumlee willing to take it this time by? He also has not taken to the Joker. He doesn't take to it. Jordan, let's see if it's going to be a taker from James Watson, and it will not be. He stays on the racetrack, and with 3 to go, he can't let Rice or Plumlee run away too far. He might have an opportunity at a consolation race win or a spot in the next round with this.
I'm curious to know when he's actually going to take it because like you're starting to talk about, you can't really save it till last minute because then everyone's going to be all bunched up and really sort of forced to take it. And so I'm really looking forward to see when he's going to take it and what the outcome will be for those drivers that are really looking for that transfer spot to make it to the feature.
Christopher Plumlee once again still needs to take that Joker. Is he going to take it here? He does not. He stays out on the racetrack. Becoming increasingly weird to see, but out in front now. Into P2 goes James Watson, and he is right behind your current race leader of Matthew Rice. So this puts Watson into a transfer. What is this going to do now for Christopher Plumlee? He needs to joker this time by, because it is a required thing to take. Let's see this time by what is going to happen. What's going to happen here with Plumlee? You're on board. He jokers. Will it be enough? It is enough for the lead by a long shot. So this right here becomes the battle for the transfer. Rice versus Watson. Rice looks to be a little bit too far out in front. He's way too far out in front. It's about 2 seconds as they enter the final corner. And with the win in the consolation, it is Christopher Plumlee. Matthew Rice comes home P2. They advance into the feature with Watson and King going home off of the consolation. That sets us up for the feature race here in RX2. And once again, we do apologize for our overlay issues tonight. And we will make sure to try and get those fixed for RX1. We will be going dark just for a moment right here to get it fixed really quickly. And we will be right back with the feature of our Welcome back live to virtual Atlanta. Feature race is ready to go for RX2 as warm-up continues to work its way down, making sure if we got our overlay issues fixed here. And once again, sincerely apologize for all the issues that we are having on the production side tonight. We'll bring you the best of us in the commentary box, and we'll bring you the action as it runs through the feature and through RX1 later on today as well, because ultimately that is the most important thing, is that we bring you the live coverage from the racetrack, as it is time to go racing for the feature in RX2, excuse me. And on the pole, it is going to be Zach Knowles, Trevor Teal, Zachary Drapkin, Andrew Howell, Tor-Andre Borson, your top 5, Mikey Lawrence, Thomas Grady, Sean Winkler, Christopher Plumlee, and Matthew Rice, the top 10, and all 10 drivers who are ready to go racing here in the feature race. And how is this one going to pan out? We have had a unique feature race winner in every round of the season so far. Who is going to walk away with it here today? If Zach Knowles gets the win here, that means that he will be the first driver out of RX2 and RX1 to go back, or to get multiple wins this season in a feature race. We are underway for the feature of RX2. A great start for Knowles. He's gonna grab that early lead, goes up onto 2 tires. Teal is gonna be fighting with Zachary Drapkin. Drapkin gonna try and hold Howell at bay. Tor-Andre Borson fighting from mid-pack right now, but out in front, it is Zach Knowles trying to run away from the rest of the field. And that is exactly what he is doing as they all race into the middle portion. Into the chicane they go. Who's gonna joker first time by, first opportunity to do it? Teal's gonna come in. An early joker from the 72. It's gonna put him into the lead. Huge for Trevor Teal here, Jordan. It looks like Howell and Borison also follow him in. Zach Knowles is gonna need to respond to this joker quickly.
And you can just see how fast it threw Teal into the lead like that. And so that just shows you how powerful that joker can be when you really need to take over that lead. And so a pretty good move for the 72 of Trevor Teal, as he is going to remain in the lead right now, but he's got a tough competitor, the 099 of Zach Knowles. He's still got his joker. So Josh, I'm looking forward to see when Knowles is going to use it and how close it's really going to put him up to the 72.
Will it be enough, as we'll get a look at Zach Knowles here coming by the joker. Not going to take it yet. He's in a battle with Zachary Drapkin for the moment. About 7/10 separating these two. Knowles able to hold it through the banked dirt curve. Zachary Drapkin, one of the, I believe, the only Ford Fiesta being used in the field. And repping the blue oval well as a battle for the lead is brewing. Here comes Andrew Howell to the inside of Trevor Teal. Torandre Borson has caught this group as well. Powering along by, there goes Andrew Howell in the 666 up into the lead, and contact in between Teal and Borson for P2. Both of them run into the grass. Did any of them grab slowdowns? I don't believe any of them did. If they did, it was not enough to warrant anything, and Trevor Teal goes now into the wall. Borson to P2. Is Knowles going to joker? No, he does not. He stays on the racetrack. This time by 3 laps will be in the books. And Jordan, this is just starting to heat up as here comes Zachary Drapkin trying to catch up. Issues for Christopher Plumley. He is over into the pits. We'll grab a quick look at a Racecraft TV replay, see what happened to Christopher Plumley to get him out of this race, and he flips upside down here, Jordan.
And it looks like he hit one of the little curbs sort of on the corners.
Oh my goodness.
Could just see he just completely launched that machine, completely nose over, and that is definitely, Josh, not the way you want to go out. You can take a look on the onboard cam of that, because that was just crazy to see. You can see he can't turn, and just it throws him completely nose forward and up onto his lid he goes. An unfortunate break for the 36 of Plumley, which I believe that's going to put him out for the other half of this race.
And it does put him out, and we will go on to lap number 5 this time, and Knowles is starting to catch up to Teal, Borson, and Howell without taking the joker. This is going to be huge here, Jordan, because if Knowles is able to catch him without the joker, just imagine what the, I believe, some odd 6 to 8 seconds he gains out of the joker lap going to do for him, because he is catching up quickly on this green racetrack. Is he going to joker this time by? Undoubtedly, when he jokers, he'll get the lead. Here's the joker lap, and he powers along by everybody by 2 seconds. Zach Knowles right back to the race lead as Howell and Drapkin will now go side by side for P2. A great move there from Knowles, Jordan, and with 5 to go, he needs to not make a mistake. That's what put him out of the feature race in Daytona, prevented him from getting 2 in a row and his second feature race win of the season. He needs to be perfect here in these last 5 laps to keep Andrew Howell and Zachary Drapkin at bay, but they're going battling here further back. These 3, Howell, Drapkin, and Borson, have not let each other go.
You can see they're all well spread apart right now, so it just depends on how long it's going to take for maybe a change for the positions and whatever they're going to do. But like you were talking about, Josh, Zachary Knowles, he's been running perfectly all night long. Not trying to curse him, but it just seems like he's running that machine really, really consistently. So looking forward to seeing him really trying to work his way to that finish. But, you know, everyone behind him, they're all really trying to fight for that lead. The 666 of Andrew Howell, he's trying to get on the bumper of Knowles, but that joker just put Knowles so far up there. It's a lot of pressure, Josh, because especially when you got people behind you, it's really, really hard to really focus on one person and not try and lose your spot.
We are on 4 laps to go now. Time is undoubtedly running out, and Zach Knowles with a 2.5 second gap to the front of the field right now is looking like he has this feature race in the bag. Battle for P3 is brewing as Borson slides in, looks to the outside of Drapkin. Not going to be enough, or will it? Through the dirt section, he slams the door, and Borson up into P3. Drapkin falls to P4. Up into the podium spots goes Torandre Borson, and Zach Knowles with the lead of this race continues to lead with 3 to go. The Canadian looking strong out at the front of this field, Jordan. If he does get the win here in the last couple of laps of this feature, he'll be the first driver out of RX2 and RX1 to win multiple feature races in this season.
You know, that's definitely really cool too, because not everyone can say they have won 2 races in one season, and so really going out there and doing that is really, really well, because not only does it put you up in points, it just shows how consistent you can be at tracks that you really, really like. And, you know, Knowles is one of those drivers that we see a lot, and he seems to run really consistently everywhere. And so if he keeps this up, he's going to end up in the winner's circle, and he's going to get that win.
2 laps to go as Knowles comes through the middle portion of the racetrack, and battle for P6 as we go on board with Thomas Grady. That's Trevor Teal in front of him. Teal trying to run away as quickly as he possibly can. And he will keep that 5th spot for the moment as Zach Knowles going to come through the final corner, up and over the jump, and it'll be white flag for Zach Knowles this time. By Knowles looking to be the first driver in Racecraft TV Rallycross, technically history, even though this is only our first season of action, to win multiple feature races in a season. With this feature race win, he will go from 1 win to 2 and be the only driver to do that this season. Through the final dirt section, the final corner of the dirt section, I should say, down the straightaway and into the final corner. He'll go up and over the jump one more time. Second feature race win of the season for Zach Knowles. The Canadian gets it done from Atlanta. A great run for Knowles here in the feature. Trevor Teal holds on to P5. Small battle further back. Mikey Lawrence comes home P7, and at the line, Winkler gets the best of Matthew Rice. And that is everybody over and across the line. And what a feature race win it was for Zach Knowles. He takes the win. Andrew Howell, Tor Andre Borison, Zachary Drapkin, Trevor Teal, Thomas Grady, Mikey Lawrence, Sean Winkler, Matthew Rice, and Christopher Plumley, your top 10. We'll step away here for a bit, and then we will be right back for an interview with your RX2 feature race winner and the start of RX1. When we return, you're tuning in to live coverage of Racecraft TV Rallycross live on Racecraft TV. Welcome back to live coverage of Racecraft TV Rallycross. We're excited to have you here with us tonight for the fifth round of the season from virtual Atlanta. Once again, Josh Ridley here with you in the booth alongside Jordan Hicks. All track and car cameras tonight are created by Istvan Ballo at trackcams22.com. And we are happy to have all of you with us here tonight. And Jordan getting ready for RX1. And as practice winds its way down, we can take a look at these RX1 points. Garrett Maines with a great start to this RX1 season. As we go through the middle portion of the calendar, even with the 2 drop weeks counted, he is still in the lead. But Sindra Silva, Josh Fox, Alex Bergeron, it's 4 world championship drivers at the front of this field, all battling for the championship.
You know, definitely, and they're just going to keep going harder and harder every single week. So I'm really looking forward to see how these drivers are going to navigate here in Atlanta, because this track's a little trickier, but they also got that joker that really pushes you very, very far ahead in that lead. And so these drivers are really going to have to keep their mindset high, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Taking a look at the race analysis, it looks exactly the same as RX2, except for one key difference. Instead of 6x, or instead of an 8x incident limit, we have 6x, and these drivers have open setups available to use. So instead of everybody being on an even playing field when it comes to how their car is set up, they can choose whatever setup they want to put into those cars. And with all these drivers being either near professionals in iRacing Rallycross or are currently in the iRacing Rallycross World Championship presented by Yokohama, they know what they are doing when it comes to setting up a race car. Up and over the jump goes Keaton Swain. Let's see where the 21 is going to be on the leaderboard. Robbie Larill hops up to the top quick. Swain's going to be the slowest as Garrett Maines is going to hop up to the top of the timing sheet. Let's see what everybody else has got. We're taking a look at Josh Edmondson coming through the dirt section onto the asphalt. And qualifying doesn't normally be an important thing in Rallycross, Jordan. It's fairly easy to get spots made up on the start, but this qualifying could also determine which heat you're in and if you have an easier heat or a more difficult heat depending on who you're going up against.
And that's the thing too, you really just want to make sure you really know what you're getting yourself into. So Josh, I would really think of it as a sort of practice lap to really know the track. Yes, they had a practice session, but I just use it as a last minute sort of practice session to really figure out that track, how you want to really run those corners and really get into them and really exit them. And so just really so you can maintain how you want to really do in your heat and hopefully make it to the feature.
And once again, we're only going to take 10 drivers into the feature. Tonight we have 11 that will be going for a feature race spot. So we'll see what happens here. Look at that new paint on the 10 of Alex Bergeron. He was recently added to the addition of Jim Beaver Esports when it comes to the iRacing Rallycross World Championship. Great to see Alex Bergeron out here on the racetrack. And of the drivers in this field who are competing in the iRacing Rallycross World Championship, Josh Fox, Garrett Maines, and Alex Bergeron. Those 3 are currently competing, with everybody else trying their best to keep up. But Fox, Maines, and Bergeron have talked about how they are using this series for practice for that World Championship and can come into play, Jordan, for that World Championship, especially when we talk about these tracks now for the remainder of the season, exactly following the calendar of the World Championship. We'll race it on Sundays in Racecraft TV Rallycross, and they'll race it on Wednesdays in the World Championship.
And you said it perfectly right there. These drivers, like you said, they're really using it as a practice session, which is probably the smartest thing they could do. Yes, they really want to make sure they can get the most points they can to really win that series, but going into that World Championship, that's a lot of pressure, and especially when you got 2 of these in the same week, you just really got to maintain the way you're doing it and really make sure you're on your A game, especially entering that World Championship, because you've really got to make sure you are doing the best thing you can do when you enter that World Championship. And so you're just really hoping for a good turnout, and we're looking forward to going green here soon, Josh, and I'm really looking forward to RX1 here tonight.
Qualifying about to wrap up here in about 45 seconds, and you mentioned them using it as a bit of a practice session for the World Championship. They definitely are, but we know the World Championship drivers, when it comes to iRacing esports, are competitive, and even though they're using it as a practice, they want to come out here and win. So expect these drivers to still be just as aggressive as they usually are when it comes to Rallycross, and we'll see what happens here tonight. 20 seconds on that clock for qualifying. Everybody has put in at least one lap time, and everybody except for, I believe, Keaton Swain, using up all of the laps they had available to them in qualifying. It's time to rack them up here for heat number 1. Ready to go green flag racing in the RX1 class, and we will grab a look at your starting grid for the first heat of the night. And picking up that pole position, it is going to be Josh Fox in the 12. He will lead the field down into turn number 1. Alex Bergeron to the outside. Adam Alderton with Matt Hartley, Robbie Larill, and Keaton Swain. The 6 drivers taking the green flag here in Heat 1. We will have 5 drivers taking the green flag in Heat 2. We'll take the top 4 from each heat. We'll have 3 go into the LCQ. 2 will advance from that, and we'll be sending 1 driver home. So we'll see what is going to happen on the racetrack here as Matt Hartley, Alex Bergeron sit on the starting grid waiting to go. And multiple drivers now popping up, ready to go racing, and just to see what is going to happen as they all dive into turn number 1 here at Virtual Atlanta. The big question is, who is going to walk away with those 4 spots into the feature race, and will we see the same fate as we saw in RX2, where we had another first repeat winner of the season? We could very well see that, but we're gonna have to wait and find out. Alex Bergeron will be set to lead the field to green as the rest of the field starts to work their way onto the starting grid. And we get ready to go racing. Everybody is up and ready, and the green flag is out. We are racing in Heat 1 of RX1. Josh Fox with a good start. He's going to lead them into turn 1. Alex Bergeron trying all he can to keep up in second place. Not going to work too well. He's only going to stay in second. Car slamming all over the place as they come over the jump. And a hard contact into the guardrail for Keaton Swain. Robbie Larill gets turned around as well. But at the front of the field, Josh Fox with the lead. Is he going to joker this time by? Let's find out. No, he does not. He stays out onto the racetrack as Josh Fox leads the way. Matt Hartley will get his joker lane out of the way here, Jordan. He's going to run away with the lead off the early jump.
And you know, a great start for Hartley as he's completely just trying his best to run away from P number 2, because Josh Fox and the 12 machine with everyone behind them, they're all so quick, so it's best to do it early and just really try and run away and try and keep your line consistent, because you don't want to mess up, because the only top 4 really make it to the feature tonight, and so they're really looking forward to be really competitive, and they really got to stay consistent tonight if they want to do so. But if not, they will go to the LCQ, which will make it to the top 2 that'll get advanced. And so a lot of these drivers are going to really fight very competitive here tonight, and especially in that feature.
Battle for P2 on the racetrack right now as Josh Fox holds that lead. Alex Bergeron in 3rd for the moment, and neither of them electing to joker yet, and it looks like we have a joker from Keaton Swain, I believe, as Adam Alderton falls to P5, Robbie Larill falls to P6, and that could have been a mistake on Alderton's part. We'll see when our timing updates when they come across the line. Battle farther back in P2, and you can call it a bit of a battle, not too much right now, however, as up and over goes Alex Bergeron. An unusual problem there for Alex Bergeron. Another driver caught off guard by the turtle curbs. perfect Joker here, Jordan. Right back up into the lead. Mistake turns into a lead change for Alex Bergeron in the 10.
And that's the thing too, if you do that, you can't really, if you really mess up, you can't really give up. I'm not saying Bergeron would have, but he just completely shot himself through the Joker. We're gonna take a look at the replay because he completely shot himself all the way around from that speed bump. You can take another look right here. He's diving into that corner, currently running second, and it just comes up and he throws the rear end of that machine right up into the air, and it completely turns him straight back onto the track, Josh, and right down to that Joker he goes, and right into P number 1.
Back to the front for Alex Bergeron. Big question now goes on to Josh Fox, who you're sitting on board with now. Pole sitter in this heat. Is he going to go for the Joker here late and try and steal a heat race win away from Alex Bergeron? I think a bigger question to ask is with the drivers a little bit further back, talking about Adam Alderton, talking about Robbie Laurel, who are yet to Joker. Could they possibly be within the time needed to pass somebody under the Joker lap? Let's see what happens as the final lap is out for heat number 1. Bergeron sits out in the lead. Here comes Josh Fox into the Joker, way out in front for Fox. He caught up plenty in time, so away goes Fox. What's gonna happen with Alderton? Alderton will overtake Keaton Swain for the transfer spot. Robbie Laurel is gonna overtake for 5th, but up and over the jump, it is the Hanson Williams Esports machine of Josh Fox in the 12, who walks away with the heat number 1 victory. Bergeron, Hartley, and Adam Alderton, your top 4, and the drivers who will advance their way into the feature race off of heat number 1. Full results now coming up for heat number 1 as Fox, Bergeron, and more. Hartley and Alderton added them to that list. Will advance into the feature race off of heat number 1. Robbie Laurel and Keaton Swain will go racing from the Constellation. Starting grid for heat number 2 consists of Garrett Maines, Josh Edmondson, Dorian Baptiste with Jason Hoek and Bodie Cryer. The top 5 and all 5 drivers who will race on here in heat number 2. Only one driver will be eliminated from this heat here, Jordan, but that's definitely not going to bring the aggression down any sort.
You know, definitely a lot of these drivers are really competitive when it comes to this, and so they're really looking forward to make themselves to the feature, and we're about to go green as soon as that green flag flies.
Revs coming up for heat 2. Green flag goes up in the air. It's a good start for Garrett Maines. Can he keep it up? He is going to be up the middle to the bottom of the racetrack. Goes Dorian Baptiste. He's going to take the lead away from Garrett Maines. Crossover as they come over the jump. Edmondson and Cryer sit P2. Jason Hoek sits P5 at the tail end of the field. But Maines now back out in front over Dorian Baptiste. What's the story going to be as they come towards the Joker lane? Anybody going to take it early? Edmondson going to be the only driver to bite on an early Joker lap, and he's going to be way out in front of the field now. A great start to the second heat of the day in RX1 for Josh Edmondson as he grabs the early lead. But Jordan, he's got to be careful. Maines and Baptiste are definitely still within that Joker lane delta where they can make a pass.
And that's the thing too, a lot of the people who will watch this will be like, but they're not behind him, and so that's the thing. That's how much of a difference that Joker lane can make. It shoots you out so much. You can see they're all right behind him right there. You know, a lot of these drivers really fight so competitively to a point where they can come up so quickly to your back door and really be there on your bumper as soon as possible.
So still in P2 is Maines, did not choose to come into the Joker lane that time by, with Edmondson now in the lead by a considerable margin of about 6.6 seconds. Make that 6.7, 6.8, now down up to 7 seconds. Maines needs to joker soon, or else he runs the risk of Edmondson pulling away too far. But you can see the joker lane here in Atlanta basically cuts off the entire second portion of this track. So Maines isn't really in the realm of being so anxious about it right now. But here's another driver into the joker lane, Bodie Cryer. That's going to add 2 drivers now who have already jokered, adding Garrett Maines a little bit further down in the order. Still 6 seconds to Bodie Cryer, so he can get the lead off of, or get second place, excuse me, off of the joker. And I believe he might also be able to grab the lead off of this joker lap as well. And we'll see what's going to happen as Maines comes across the line. 2 to go. He needs to take it soon. This could be the lap he takes it. Let's find out. You're on board with the 2. Not going to joker, so Jordan's going to save it for the final lap. That's a little bit risky, but Garrett Maines seems confident that he can't overtake him out of the joker. And by the current gap margin in seconds between himself and Edmondson, I can't disagree with him.
You know, it's probably a smart move right now. So we've seen him. He's really, really fast when it comes to RX1. And so whatever he's going to do, it seems like he's going to try and make it work, Josh, and it's just a matter of time of when he's going to do it. He's got 1 to go, and so I'm curious to know when he's going to do it and how it's going to really turn out.
Coming across the line for white flag. Edmondson takes it. What's going to happen here with Garrett Maines? He does come into the joker. Watch that gap decrease. He goes right up to the lead by 1.5 seconds. To the front goes Maines, and to a transfer spot goes Dorian Baptiste. He was the second driver to save his joker. So into P3 goes Baptiste. Bodie Cryer falls to 4th. A little bit of a battle for the transfer now. Hoek has an opportunity to take it. Not going to get close enough. Maines with the win. Edmondson, Baptiste, and Cryer, your top 4. Jason Hoek is going to be moving in to the LCQ, which we're getting ready to start with now. Heat 2 final results put Maines, Edmondson, Baptiste, and Cryer into the feature race. Now, time for the consolation. Let's see what happens now. Larill, Hoek, and Swain, the current top 3 in the consolation. They're ready to go racing. We will take 2 drivers from the consolation to move their way into the feature race. Let's find out who those 2 are going to be. Anybody's guess as these drivers up here at the front show some real promise, show some real speed as we are underway for the consolation. Good start for Larill. He'll take the early lead. Maines down the middle of the racetrack takes over P2, and Jason Hoek, Jordan, just like it at the end of that heat race, going to be fighting from the tail end of the field. But interesting to see what is going to happen here with the joker lane strategy, with it only being 3 cars as opposed to 5 or 6.
And that's the thing too, because one driver is going to get eliminated and the other 2, you can see this driver, he's diving into the joker lane, and he's really going to just shoot out into the lead right now. So he's got some time. You can see the 137 of Jason Hoek. He's currently P1 right now. He's got to keep up that momentum because, like I was saying, one driver will get eliminated and not make it into that feature, and 2 will. And so if you really want it, this is the time to really fight for it, because you don't want to get sent home with going into the LCQ and not being able to make it into the feature.
So Hoek leads with that joker. Now it all rests on Robbie Larill and what the 213 is going to do here. Not going to joker just yet. He avoids the joker lane. Is Swain gonna take it? Swain does take it. Swain takes the lead. So 2 joker laps over and done. Swain and Hoek both complete their jokers. Now comes the big question of when will Robbie Larill take his, and will he be able to overtake both Hoek and Swain for the LCQ win? Jordan, it looks like at this point that Swain out in front can be passed by Loril. Hoek needs to try and get by Keaton Swain all he can if he wants his feature race hopes to stay alive.
And that's the thing, these two are really fighting for who's going to go to the feature, and so you can see they're like really side by side right now. So Josh, coming to that line, this is going to be a close one because these two drivers don't want to give it up, and they really want to make their way further tonight into that main feature. You can see they are literally bumper to bumper right now, and all takes just one mess up for them to fall apart from each other. So I'm looking forward to see what they do and how close they'll be when they come across the line.
On board with Hoek, 2 to go here at the line. Still no Joker lap from Robbie Loril. Big question now is, when is the 213 going to come in? Because this is going to determine which driver out of these three does go home off of this consolation race. Still no Joker lap from Loril, so he's planning it on the final lap, but with a 6-second gap, safe to say the battle for the transfer is going to be the battle for the lead currently on the racetrack, because Loril with the Joker will be able to get around both Hoek and Swain. So Hoek needs to get around Swain as quickly as he can, but it doesn't look like the 137 has the speed to do it right now. Jordan is only staying right behind Swain. He'll need to get aggressive.
You can see they're really close right now, so they're really waiting for that final lap, which is right now. So this is the moment where who is going to take that win, and so looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Josh, says these drivers are really fighting competitive right now, trying to dive to the bottom. He hits the wall, so that's going to mess him up a little bit. So this is going to open the door for that driver, and so this is really interesting to see who's going to take that win here in RX1.
Hoek not able to get that transfer spot away from Swain. To the lead goes Robbie Loril, and across the line comes Robbie Loril. He will take the win in the consolation, and Keaton Swain is going to walk away with the final transfer. Jason Hoek will be going home off of the consolation race. So with that, top two from the LCQ will be moving on. Loril and Swain. Jason Hoek is going home. Time for the feature. Quick 2-minute warm-up on the track right now, and then we'll go racing for tonight's 10-lap feature. But Jordan, out of the drivers that have shown promise here at Atlanta, do you think Garrett Maines can go back-to-back? He's showed great speed in the two, but it's going to all come down to really who leads off of that first corner, because we haven't seen too many lead changes really after that first opening corner.
And so that's the thing where it really matters. These drivers really got to fight for that first corner, because like you mentioned, it really doesn't change from there. And so we've seen Garrett Maines, he's running so quick tonight, and you can see Josh Fox as well. He's so quick too, and so Josh, I want to say those are the two drivers I'm going to be looking forward to tonight to really be battling it out for that feature win. But my main eye is going to be focusing on Garrett Maines. We saw him win last time, and I'm really looking forward to see if he can do it again.
Josh Fox also been incredibly quick here today. We'll see what he can do. Edmondson still looking for that first feature race win, as well as a lot of the drivers through this field. What can Alex Bergeron do? He won the feature back at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and he just attacks that turtle curve during warm-up. No issue. He can reset that car, get a brand new one for the feature race. But just looking down the list of winners, Sindra Silva, Adam Alderton, Alex Bergeron, Garrett Maines, the 4 feature race winners of RX1 this season. Will it remain 4 unique winners, or will we see 5 unique winners in 5 rounds for RX1? Time to take a look at your starting grid for the feature race from virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway. Josh Fox will lead the field of green. Garrett Maines to his outside. Alex Bergeron, Josh Edmondson, Matt Hartley, Dorian Baptiste. Your top 6. back from there, completing the 10 drivers here in the feature race. Adam Alderton, Bodie Cryer, Robbie Larill, and Keaton Swain, the top 10. So ready for the feature and ready to see who is going to get the lead off of turn number 1. Waiting on the drivers to take to the grid. Remember, the race is coming up when it comes to Racecraft TV Rallycross. We've got Iowa next week, Brands Hatch, Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, Hell Lancabanen, Phoenix, Sonoma, then Charlotte, where we will crown our first series champions in both RX1 and RX2. Revs starting to build, and the green flag flies. We are racing in the feature. Good start for Maines, maybe a better start for Josh Fox. They're gonna go sparring into turn 1. Here comes Bergeron up the middle. Can he get the lead? Maines with a crossover, coming over the jump, side by side for the race lead, and Maines is gonna get away with it. Bergeron is all sorts of messed up. He's gonna fall all the way to the back of the field as he saves it. Hard hit for Bodie Cryer, or for, excuse me, I believe that is Adam Alderton with the hard hit there. Out in front is Garrett Maines. Josh Fox in second. Hartley is going to be the first to dive into the Joker. And so will Keaton Swain. They're your top 2. Cryer and Bergeron also Joker. Maines falls to 5th, but with the current gaps, still has the provisional lead of this race. But Jordan, almost half of the field, getting their Joker lane out of the way right there. That is the most cars we have seen on an opening lap so far today.
You know, I'm just looking forward to see the other half take their Joker, because just seeing how fast they just shot into the lead like that and ahead of Garrett Maines is just unbelievably fast. And so that other half of the track, those 3 drivers who haven't taken, well, those 4 drivers who haven't taken their, I'm sorry, the 6 drivers who haven't taken their Joker yet, is going to be a huge change within positions. And you can see Josh Fox slides up into the lead right there from Hartley. So just shows you how competitive these drivers are really being and how much they want that win.
Fox did just take his Joker. It'll update on our timing tower when he comes across the line, but Joker over and done for Josh Fox, and that's going to be important for Josh Fox to get out in front of the field. And timing tower updates, there it goes, and Swain up to P2, Swain up to P3, excuse me, Baptiste Cryer, your top 5. Garrett Maines still yet to Joker. We've seen him save that Joker till pretty much the last lap all day. Not gonna save it here. Watch the timing tower. It goes right up to the top of the board, but it's not by a lot. Most of the leaders have taken to the Joker lane. We'll swap our timing over to the live gap and take a look at that, Jordan. Within 1 second is Josh Fox. If he can catch up to Maines, he might have an opportunity to get this win. If Fox were to win this feature, he'd be the 5th unique feature race winner of the season in RX1, as Fox is still yet to win one.
And that's the thing too, there's a lot of pressure on the line right now. We've got about 6 to go right now, and so he's got some time to do it, because Garrett Maines is one of those drivers who are really fast who don't really let down at all throughout the whole race. So Josh Fox is really gonna have to really make up his ground and really try and fight if he really wants to make that lead up.
You're on board with the 12 of Josh Fox, trying to close in on Maines, the 2 Americans, the 2 iRacing World Championship and Rallycross competitors battling at the front of the field. Small battle a little bit further back as Edmondson tries to catch up to Hartley. Running in P3 is Matt Hartley, Edmondson P4 for the moment. And they will go battling into the corner. Look at Edmondson trying to dive up the inside. Not going to be close enough. Matt Hartley remains in 3rd. Edmondson going to be forced to remain in P4. We'll go back to your battle for the lead as Garrett Maines continues to keep up at the front of the field. Fox able to close slightly, but not anywhere near enough right now as Maines leads. Josh Fox in second. This is the big battle on the racetrack. Maines looking to go 2 in a row as well as extend his points lead. Josh Fox looking to get back into the championship, running with the points and looking to win his first feature race of the season. A bit crazy to say for Josh Fox that he has not won a feature race yet this season, but the Pennsylvania native for Hanson Williams Esports, a world championship driver in iRacing Rallycross, still is yet to win a feature race this season. Jordan, he joined his world championship colleagues Sindra Silva, Alex Bergeron, and Garrett Maines as a feature race winner if he were to get it done here in these last 4 laps.
And you know, you can see he's really trying to make something work, just make that 12 machine really stick to the ground and really just get to the back bumper of the 2 of Garrett Maines. And so he's got a little bit of time, he's got 4 to go. Josh, I think he can do it. It just matters how consistent he stays, because one mess up like we've seen a lot tonight, it can really change your whole race. I'm not trying to jinx him at all, but if he gets it done, it'd be a great comeback for Josh Fox in the 12, but Garrett Maines is so quick to a point where he's not going to be that easy competitor to really want to pass.
On board with Maines, looking back on Fox, 3 laps to go as they come across the start-finish line. Issues for Dorian Baptiste, it looked like in the back for a moment. Believe it was just a timing issue. Yes, it was. He's still on the racetrack. Field spreading out, but Edmondson still has Matt Hartley reeled in. We'll see if this battle is going to develop any further as Edmondson gets so close, but you can see Jordan Hartley basically just stopping in the middle of the corner, and Edmondson had such a run going, he had to actually get on the brakes there, which ruined his run through the corner. Just simple things like that that could lead to the battle going another way in Rallycross. Again, right there, door shut. Edmondson has to get out of the gas, ruins his momentum, stays behind Hartley.
And that's the thing too, you really don't know how a lot of the other drivers are really going to react to things like coming into turns. So when you're behind them like how Edmondson is right now, you really just gotta really try and focus on what they're doing and just try and make sure they don't mess you up in a way, because the one time they mess you up is when they can completely just run away with that spot, Josh. And you can see Edmondson trying to really get his way around the 49 of Hartley, but just seems like nothing's working because he's running his line, but it just seems when he seems to brake check, Edmondson isn't really prepared for that, and he's just trying to keep that run going and trying to make a pass.
Across the line, white flag is out in the battle for the lead. 5/10 the current gap. Can Fox do anything? He's got to be aggressive here. How aggressive is he willing to get? Maines in the lead, Fox in second, through the final dirt corner. Not close enough. They'll come through the long sweeping left-hander, drifting through. It might be just a little bit too much for Josh Fox. Through the final corner, Garrett Maines looking to walk away with 2 in a row, and in both RX1 and RX2 today, it is two-time winners, and Garrett Maines goes back-to-back win at Daytona and a win in Atlanta. Oh, what a run for Garrett Maines in the last 2 weeks. Also will extend his lead at the front of the point standings. What a day for the Elliott Sadler Esports #2. An amazing drive for Garrett Maines, who grabs the win of the feature race. And we'll take a look at your full finishing results. Garrett Maines with the win, Josh Fox second, Josh Edmondson third. We'll speak to your top 3 here in a moment. Keaton Swain in 4th, Dorian Baptiste 5th, Robbie Larill 6th, Alex Bergeron 7th, Bodie Cryer 8th, Matt Hartley 9th, and Adam Alderton rounding out the top 10. Jordan, what an exciting feature race we saw there for RX1. Some intense action and a battle for the lead that I think if Fox maybe had a little bit more speed in that car could have been a lot different.
You know, definitely. So these drivers really fought really competitive tonight, like we were talking about earlier. These drivers are not the ones to let down, and in that feature race, they really put it to the floor and really showed that they really wanted to win, and Garrett Maines was the one to walk out with that win. So he's taken that second win of the season, and so it's a really good night for him, and he's going to walk away with more points added on to his season championship.
And Maines really showing now just how good he is, and it's not a hyperbole really to say. I mean, he is in the world championship. You know he's got speed, and he just shows that every single time that we take the green flag for Racecraft TV Rallycross and for all of iRacing Rallycross. I should really mention, when it comes to Garrett Maines, he is just always so strong. We'll begin our post-race coverage by speaking with our third-place finisher on the racetrack, the 58 of Josh Edmondson. And third-place finisher will join us here in the booth right now. Josh, it was a good run for you today. Your best finish so far when it comes to Racecraft TV Rallycross in a feature race. But what more could you have gotten out of the car and of that feature race tonight if you maybe just had a little bit more speed or maybe had a little bit better luck?
Yeah, I don't know. I think third was max for me. Got lucky that Alex got wrecked out. He would have probably been third. He had the pace to do that, to be there. And actually, I feel really bad about what happened to Matt right there. He had third place there. I was going to try and get a drag run down the straightaway, but I didn't want to bump him. So yeah, apologies to him for bumping him there. I definitely didn't want it to end like that.
And with this third place finish in the feature, obviously we tried to qualify for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship presented by Yokohama in the qualifying series. Could not make it there, but you're showing speed now with a caliber of drivers that are in the World Championship. I mean, you did keep up with Garrett Maines, Josh Fox. It is great company for you on the podium. Does this give you a little bit more confidence now for the rest of the season and for going into next year of iRacing Rallycross that you could run with the top dogs when it comes to the World Championship?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the goal here, is trying to learn as much as I can. Obviously, don't have a ton of experience in rally cars, so this is perfect for me to learn with those guys who are already doing it at the top level. So, yeah, still a little bit off their pace. Those guys are crazy fast, but trying learning a lot every time. So it's definitely good.
Iowa in 1 week's time. What's the confidence level for you in the entire Jim Beaver Esports outfit as you guys get ready to go racing over there?
Well, hopefully Alex and Connor can hold it down for the team, because I'm going to be at Nitro Rallycross in ERX. So, yeah, I'm going to miss that round. But, yeah, I'll be back for the week after, and I'll be watching on the phone, checking it out. So.
Well, thank you very much for joining us post-race here. Josh, congratulations on your third place in the feature of RX1.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. Got to give a shout out to the team, Jim Beaver Esports, Fistful of Bourbon, General Tire, Polaris Razor, Rigid Industries, Vision Wheel, and Next Level Racing. Thanks. Thank
you very much for joining us post-race. That is Josh Edmondson, driver of the number 58, third place finisher, We'll now speak with our second place finisher. It is Josh Fox in the 12. Josh, it was not enough at the end, but you held up with Garrett Maines. What more did you need in that Hanson Williams Esports number 12 machine today to walk away with that win?
Today just kind of gave it away in the first turn there, and thought Alex might be looking for some room on that first turn inside there, and I kind of gave it to him, and then he kind of backed out, and Garrett crossed us both up, and once he jokered between me and Garrett, I knew it was going to be tough to come back from that. But yeah, good race though, and good job to Garrett.
Previewing the next week of action, we'll start with the World Championship. Does this give you a little bit of confidence heading into Atlanta and versus that caliber of drivers as well, the strong run you had here tonight?
Yeah, for sure. I think we have a really good package underneath the Hanson Williams Esports Subaru, and it's feeling good, really comfortable with it. So yeah, definitely feeling well prepared ahead of Wednesday.
And talking about Sunday, Iowa Speedway, next round of Racecraft TV Rallycross. Can you get your first feature race win of the season? I feel like we've talked to you pretty much every week being on one of the podium spots, but we haven't seen you get that first win yet.
Yeah, one of these days, I think, the speed has been good enough, I think, just about every race, and Iowa's as good of a track as any for that to happen.
Well, thank you very much for joining us post-race here, Josh. Congratulations on your second place finish.
Hey, thanks, and I just got a shout out, of course, real quick, the Hanson Williams Esports group. We got a great group over there. BenQ Monitors, Chill Blast PC, Fanatec, Playseat, One All Sports, Team Razor, Hoisting Bow Pedals, and thanks to you guys as well.
Thank you very much for joining us post-race. That is Josh Fox, driver of the number 12 for Hanson Williams Esports. Second place finish in the feature, and we transition over to your feature race winner, Garrett Maines. Garrett, second week in a row that we're talking to you as a winner in the feature. You came into Atlanta with a good bit of confidence, and I think this is definitely just reassuring you that you are the driver to beat, running away with the points lead as well. This has got to be a good moment in the calendar for you.
Yeah, and there in qualifying, I wasn't expecting the track to be as tight as it was. I don't know what it was about this session. It just felt a little bit tighter than usual, and I could not find that 10th anywhere. And I just got that money start in the feature and got out front, and that was the difference. Because I think Josh was going to be challenging me, and everything played out perfectly for me to get just enough of a gap to get some breathing room and be able to bring it home today. Definitely cool. We had a really good car. Shout out to Adam Alderson botched it. Alderton for all the help on the setup today. It's been a lot of help and definitely cool to see some results right off the get-go. Very different way of building, so definitely good start to that.
And moving forward into the World Championship on Wednesday, you mentioned that dynamite start that you got. Does that really change your strategy going into the World Championship? Are you going to put more of a focus on those starts? And also, what did you learn today in terms of Joker Lane strategy? Because it looked like you were able to take it at the perfect moment and Swift's right into that lead, where if you would have taken it a little bit earlier, a little bit later, it might have been a different story.
I don't think I'm going to have that horseshoe on Wednesday, but at the end of the day, I can't complain about it in this race. I think that just played out perfectly for me. I saw the opportunity, I took it, and got the gap off the Joker. But unfortunately, I will be starting from the tail. I kind of saw it coming. After the Consi, there was an incident, and here we are. There's nothing good that comes out of Consis in the World Championship, so I'm going to start from the back, see what we can do. I mean, probably the car you saw today is the car you're going to see on Wednesday. Hopefully luck just plays out our way and we can get in the right position and make something happen. It definitely sucks because Atlanta is one of my better tracks, but maybe the opportunity will come our way. Obviously, I got a very good start in both races, even though I spun the tires off the grid. That first turn made the difference, and hopefully that will help me to avoid any carnage, but you never know. Every race I've done in Atlanta in the World Championship has been interesting, to say the least, over the jump. So just hopefully we can be in the right place.
Well, thank you very much for joining us post-race here, Garrett. Congratulations on your feature race win from Virtual Atlanta.
Yeah, appreciate it. And got to give a shout out to OfferPad, Smithfield, Linux, Nutrient Ag Solutions, Digital Hub, everybody at Elliott Sadler Esports for all their support in the Coke Series and all the help there. Hopefully we can cap off this week with some good finishes at Talladega and at Atlanta.
Well, thank you very much for joining us in the commentary booth. That's Garrett Maines, your feature race winner. And that'll do it for live coverage here from the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway. Congratulations to our RX1 feature race winner, Garrett Maines, and RX2 feature race winner, Zach Knowles. Unfortunately, didn't get to speak with him, but 2 wins on the board for both Knowles and Maines. Great runs for them today. Make sure you join us 1 week's time from virtual Iowa. It's the next round of Racecraft TV Rallycross, the 6th round of the calendar from Iowa Speedway. Same time, 6 p.m. Eastern on October 3rd, next Sunday night. You do not want to miss the next round of the championship. For Jordan Hicks, my name is Joshua Lee. For Trevor Teal at Racecraft TV Rallycross, and for Josh Edmondson at Racecraft TV, our camera's created by Istvan Ballo. We thank you for tuning in to coverage tonight of Racecraft TV Rallycross. We hope to see you in 1 week's time from the virtual Iowa Speedway as the opening season of Racecraft TV Rallycross continues.